that we are feeling from Dorian.
We're already getting those outermost rain bands, and the rain is just going to intensify, as are the winds, as we head into this afternoon. We're just in the very beginning stages of all of this. The storm itself is still straight east of Charleston, South Carolina, very, very close to the southeastern coast of South Carolina, and we're going to be watching this as it tracks right along the coast. Any interaction with land is going to help to kind of drag the heaviest rain even farther inland into central North Carolina. We're going to have to track that threat for hours. It's not something we're going to know at a specific point in time. 110 mile an hour sustained winds. It's a Category 2 hurricane, so it just weakened from Category 3, but it's still a dangerous storm as it's making its way up the coast. It's going to be moving over Bald Head Island right around sunset this evening. Still is a Category 2 storm, even if it is slightly weaker at that point. 105 mile an hour sustained winds. Continues tracking right along the coast over the Outer Banks as we head into early tomorrow morning. Still is a Category 2 storm with 100 mile an hour sustained winds, and then it races off to the northeast, really picks up speed. It's going to be off in the Atlantic as we head into tomorrow evening. We'll lose the influence of Dorian as we head through tomorrow afternoon. The last of the rain moving out likely by midday, the wind relaxing as we head through the afternoon. Let's talk about what things actually look like outside. So we show you a lot of maps, a lot of charts. We actually just want to look with cameras and see what the conditions are showing us with our own two eyes, and a lot of low-hanging cloud cover, some drops in the camera lens here in Fayetteville from Segra Stadium. It's warm. It's super muggy out there, as you would expect with a tropical system. We're just starting to see some showers make their way into the triangle. A lot of ominous-looking clouds from Carter Finley Stadium. Here's the radar view. Showers in Wake County, not as much in Durham and Orange counties, although the northern edges of those counties getting some light showers, and everybody's going to get wet at some point. It's just a matter of how much rain, too much rain for that matter. We'll zoom into the triangle here, and light showers around Raleigh. It gets heavier as you head down I-40 into Johnston County. Most of Johnston County is now covered with moderate, even heavy rainfall. Much of Harnett County as well. Benson getting some heavier downpours at the moment. Same thing around Smithfield and right around the radar site there, just outside of Clayton. We'll pan farther to the southwest, look into Lee County, Moore County, into Hoke and the Cumberland counties. Cumberland County, the rain coming down at a good clip. You saw that in Kayla's live shot. The heaviest rain in Cumberland County, just a little bit farther off to the east and southeast around the Grays Creek and Stedman areas. And then the heaviest rain for all of central North Carolina. We're looking up and down Sampson County here into Wayne County as well. This is heavy rainfall. Remember last year with Hurricane Florence, these are the spots that had some of the highest rainfall totals. I think that's going to be the case this time around as well. Let's zoom out and put everything in motion. You can see that pinwheel effect as everything is rotating around Dorian, even though the storm itself is still hundreds of miles away from us. We're going to see the rain becoming more intense. See some cloud-to-ground lightning here showing up in the radar loop. That's been fading off the radar as it moves into central North Carolina, just because it's a little farther away from that center of circulation. But as the storm itself makes its closest pass to us this evening into early tonight, that's where we get the heaviest rain, the strongest winds, the most frequent lightning, and our flooding potential will go up at that point as well. Big picture perspective, there's another tornado warning near Wilmington. Thus far, we have been very fortunate. Those rotation areas have weakened before they approach our counties on the coastal plain, Sampson County and Wayne County in particular. But it's a threat that we are going to be watching like a hawk as we head through the afternoon and into this evening in particular. So looking at the total impact, here's what you can expect. I know there's a lot of words here. We're going to spend some time looking at this so you can find your county, see which color you are, and match it up to what we expect. The greatest impact will be as you head farther south and east within central North Carolina. The farther east you are of I-95, that's where you're going to see the greatest potential for those strongest wind gusts, over 60 miles an hour, the heaviest rain. Still the potential for up to 10 inches of rain, maybe more than that in localized spots, and brief tornadoes. Those tropical tornadoes are always brief, but they're still tornadoes. So we're going to have to watch that very carefully. That same tornado threat for the red shaded areas right along I-95 and points to the east. 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts, certainly capable of producing some power outages once those winds pick up. That's going to be by late this afternoon, especially this evening into tonight. Rainfall in that 4 to 8 inch range. That's a big difference, but it's going to be a real sharp dividing line between the places that get enough rain that the ground is wet to places that get just way too much rain in a short amount of time. We are squarely in that transition zone across central North Carolina. Orange shaded areas, basically from Raleigh to the east and south, we're looking at 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts this evening. Sporadic power outages, certainly possible, not as great a threat as to our southeast. Rainfall, 2 to 6 inches. And I know that's a wide range between, okay, and that's way too much. Isolated tornado threat could make its way that far inland. We're going to be watching that especially this evening. Going to the yellow shaded area right along I-85. Wind gusts in that 30 to 40 mile an hour range. Not likely to cause power outages, but we can't rule it out if it blows a tree branch into a transformer or something like that. Rainfall not enough to cause any significant flooding threat. You go farther west of I-85, wind gusts less than 30 miles an hour, and the rainfall amounts are going to be light enough that we should be able to avoid any major difficulties. As the storm makes its way up the coast, we're not just chiseling this map in stone and leaving it. If it looks like the threat map is adjusting one way or the other, we'll be sure to let you know about it, because if the storm travels just a couple miles farther inland, it pushes all these threats farther inland. If it makes a hard turn closer to the Atlantic, it takes all of these threats along with it. Obviously, that's the scenario that we are hoping for as we head into this evening and tonight. Here's Futurecast, who shows that heavier rain making its way up from the south steadily as we head into this afternoon and this evening. Heaviest rain again this evening and tonight, 10 o'clock, and again, I'll freeze the maps here at 2 o'clock in the morning. You can see the transition that we're in for from very light showers west of I-85 to moderate to heavy rainfall in the Triangle to intense inundating rainfall up and down the coastal plain, long and east of I-95. That's the phrase you're going to get tired of me saying, along and east of I-95. But that's where the threat is going to be. Greatest threat overall, when you look at the state, is going to be along the coast, obviously closer to the heart of Dorian as it makes its way right along the shoreline. We'll start to see the showers tapering off by early tomorrow morning, beginning farther to the west and ending from west to east as we head through the day on Friday, through the morning hours in particular. Drying out in the Triangle by late morning, drying out along the coastal plain by midday, I think early afternoon at the latest, as Dorian continues to make its way farther and farther away from the coast, away from our lives, and as that storm pulls away, the winds will start to weaken as well. We're not going to have to deal with this as long as we had to deal with Florence, but still, for the next 24 hours, we're going to be tracking those wind, tornado, and flooding threats equally. We have to keep our eyes moving in a lot of different directions here. The weekend looks calm. Temperatures are climbing back up into the upper 80s. The next chance of showers and storms Monday is not associated with any tropical activity. It's just going to be a normal chance of showers and thunderstorms. But for today, make sure you're staying weather aware, especially if you live in our southeastern counties. Again, that tornado watch continues along I-95 all the way until 7 o'clock this evening. And I think that tornado threat will probably continue even past that point. We'll have another update coming up in just a few minutes.
All right.